All right, y'all. We back again. Get started here in a few minutes. Couple things I want to talk about. I'm gonna try not to be on here too long tonight, cause there's some things I want to do. So yeah, let's get started here in a minute. I want to talk about these topics, but there's some other stuff too I want to discuss because it is fight week this time. It's fight week, man. You know, last weekend we didn't have any fights. Lolita said she's working. Okay. Well, if you're working, you can listen to how you working. Well, shout out to Lolita if you are listening while you work. So I don't want to disturb you while you're working though. What I mean, I ain't disturbing nobody. I'm on here doing what I want to do. So, all right. So yeah, man, a few topics I want to talk about. Of course, this one's boxing world. You know, I'm gonna talk about this one real quick. Fury and Wilder, the rubber match. Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder, the third fight. Looks like it might be getting pushed back. I mean, I've been checking back all day just to see what the latest was on it, you know, the status. And I want to talk about what's going on over there. Is it real? Is it an excuse? What's going on? So I want to discuss that, but I want to talk about what I've been seeing on IG. You know, I want to talk Zhang Weili and Joanna. You know, these two ladies, they've been going at it in the gyms, not like going at each other. You know, nobody's arguing or anything like that. But Zhang Weili's been hitting the mats again. You know, she's working hard. She's back to posting a lot of her workouts, which is what I like to see. And then you got Joanna, who's kind of been going back and forth. You know, she's been posting vacation stuff, and now she's posting more and more drills of her back at ATT, getting the work in. So I'm wondering, man, like, is Zhang Weili preparing for a Rose rematch, or is she preparing for a Joanna rematch? You know, do y'all think a Joanna and Zhang Weili rematch could be on the horizon? I mean, with the way these two are working right now, and like I said, man, in my video that I did a little couple weeks ago, I wouldn't mind seeing this fight. I really wouldn't mind seeing this rematch. You know, that's the one that needs to happen to close this year out. If they want to do title eliminator and see who wants to get that shot at Rose again, this is the fight to happen, y'all. So we're gonna talk about both of those first, and then I want to discuss fight week. Like I said, I want to talk Irene versus Yana a little bit, and give y'all my picks for that fight. And Jennifer Maia versus Jessica I want to give you my pick for that fight too. That's a good fight. You know, I'm kind of excited more about that fight than I am the Irene and Yana fight. Marcus Bell, what's up, man? Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that fight a little bit more. Maia versus I. Yeah. But yeah, let's go back here. Let's talk this news here. So I got up, man, I saw this news and I was like, oh boy, here we go. You know, now that we getting down to weeks, I was like, here we go. Somebody's coming up with something to try to get out of this fight. All right, so Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, the third fight. You know, the latest I heard was that it could be moved to September because of an outbreak in Tyson Fury's camp. You know, somebody tested hot. Somebody came out hot. So somebody in his Fury's training camp, they didn't really list any names. They're kind of under close monitoring, right? You know, they're monitoring, putting that monitor on his camp right now. They're looking into it to see what's going on. But if anybody else tests positive, the word is that they might be looking to postpone this trilogy until September. You know, that's what the latest I had heard, but that was earlier today. But like I said, I've been checking back. Nothing's finalized though yet, so we can't get disappointed yet, man. Can't get disappointed yet. It looks like the fight might still be on, because the latest I seen was that hold on, let me pull this up here. This was somebody from, I think, not the Tyson Fury camp. I think Mike Coppinger posted this. He's always posting some reports though. Yeah, because Mike Coppinger reported that there was outbreak in Fury's training camp and is likely to postpone the trilogy match with Deontay Wilder from July until September. But there's another report here too I want to find. I missing closed it out. That said the fight might still be on. They're just taking a close look at the camp of Tyson Fury to make sure, everybody else is in good health. Because, I mean, as long as the fighter and the trainer is good, then, hey, we should be good to go. Let me see here. Let's see. Yeah, this was the latest statement made, that was keeping an eye on the camp. They said we continue to monitor the health status of Tyson and his team, and the status of the event has not changed. And that must have been Bob Arum. It says it was from Top Rank. So it says right now the status of the event has not changed the date. So that's a good thing. Because right away, I know a lot of people and myself, I was feeling like, okay, Tyson Fury might be looking for a way out of this fight, Just because there's so much going on with this fight, Tyson Fury had his eyes set on taking on Anthony Joshua, and it just seemed like his mindset wasn't into this fight. I know that his father was actually looking out for him, didn't want him to take this fight with Deontay Wilder. And my question was, okay, if he beat a guy that easy the second time, then why is he not wanting to take him on a third time and make an easy bag? And I mean, especially when the fight done sold out just about, and it's making good money. It's still a fight everybody wants to see, whether people like Wilder or not, they're still paying to see this fight, So I feel like somebody like Tyson Fury, he want to make some more money, So it just seemed like there was a lot of hold up, a lot of hesitation before taking this fight. And I know and understand why a lot of people, even like myself, were feeling like this fight was going to be postponed because they were a little bit worried again, But from what it says here, they're just checking out the health status of Tyson Fury. And I'm sure if his main team and Tyson Fury doesn't test positive, the fight's still going to be a go. So it says right now, and this was like 45 minutes ago, literally pulled this up, and it said it was reported 45 minutes that the status of the fight has not changed. So yeah, before I had put this up, it was, word was it was going to be canceled. So as of right now, it's up in the air. And it looks like it's still going to take place, but they're just checking out Tyson Fury's health. So hopefully it still takes place, because I'm ready to see this fight. I'm just ready to get this one out the way, man. It's another good fight for boxing. We haven't had any good fights in boxing in a minute, It's been taking a while for me to get my attention back to boxing like it has for MMA. V. Kendra, what's up? V. Kendra said, I don't understand why Rose is not fighting yet. Yeah, there haven't been any announcements yet. Valentina's about to be announced her fight with Lauren Murphy. Ernest said, damn, I wish I lived in a legit online betting state. I would put half a rack on Aldana knocking Yana smooth out. Dang, you confident in that pick, Ernest, man? I don't know. I don't know how that fight could go, man. Yana and Irene, I don't know. I really don't know, man. That's not a fight where I really feel confident in just saying Irene could. I mean, Irene got the power to do it, but I'm not that confident as far as putting half a rack on that thing. Shoot, man. So yeah, I'm just ready for this fight to happen, man. Deontay Wilder, he's looking like he's been, adding more to his arsenal. He's been him and Malik Scott, they've been improving some of their training methods. And I know the first thing a lot of people will say is, oh man, it's too late. But what's too late? I mean, there's always time to make improvements on your game. A lot of people just want to see certain people lose again. But, I'm just being honest. Like, there is time for a fighter to improve, especially in the heavyweight division. If you're known as a puncher in the heavyweight division and you add a little bit more to your game, that makes you a little bit more dangerous to me because, all it takes in the heavyweight division is one punch. So for Deontay Wilder to take the time he needs to improve, throughout the past 18 months now, it's definitely possible that you will see a different Wilder. And, I think that, and my thought was if Tyson Fury was taking the extra couple of months with the way he's been looking in sparring, he's been trying to get some big guys in sparring in, and the way he kind of came out looking a little bit marked up, maybe they're taking some time to heal up, or maybe they're taking some time to really prepare for what Wilder is bringing. So I don't know if it's a psychological thing or it could be a physical thing on his part. But I'm thinking that if it does get postponed back to September, I'm thinking that they might be looking to just extend it to prolong the fight with Wilder. Which, again, like I said, if you beat him so easy the first time, I don't know why you'd have to postpone it and push it out to September. Because you never know how it goes in boxing, man. There's been a lot of guys who've been putting themselves on the back burner, for certain type of excuses. With the option now to say you tested positive, and then you can just kind of throw that out there now. I've seen people do that, testing positive, that puts up a red alert and boom, we can cancel something. Doesn't even matter what it is. I'm not even talking about boxing or MMA right now. I'm talking about like work things, work situation. People can say, oh, I tested positive. And then after that, you can just take some extra time off. People have been doing that. So as long as this virus is around, this pandemic continues, people might use that to their advantage. That's my point. Hang on, y'all. So, like I said, it's just time for this fight to go ahead and happen here so we can have another classic in the book and kind of move on from here for Wilder and for Fury. So I hope that whatever it is, Tyson Fury is going on in his camp, they just need to make sure that they're good and make this fight happen, man, because we're almost 2 weeks away now, 2.5 weeks away. So let's just make it happen. They need to make sure they're under the right conditions wherever they need to stay. I don't know if they're still doing that bubble thing for the top ranked fighters, but I'm just tired of hearing excuses now. So yeah, that was the latest on that fight. I just want to report that for the box fans. Fight's not canceled. Like I said, 45 minutes ago, they said that they're just under observation, and the date hasn't changed yet. So July 24th is still a go, according to reports from Fury's promoter. Fury's promoter said it. So yeah, Bob Arum. But let's jump to some of this WMMA talk here, man. V. Kendra said, how do you know they're going to announce Valentina's fight? Well, Valentina just did a recent interview not too long ago. Yeah, she just did an interview like a day ago. And she said it's looking like that's the fight that's going to happen. And she's looking to, take a vacation, but she's trying to come back and fight this one more time this year. So I'm sure that Valentina versus Lauren Murphy is definitely going to be announced before you hear Rose and Carla get announced. Because I'm gonna be honest, whenever Rose win that belt, boy, it'd be a while before you hear from her, man. When she wins that belt, it's a while before you hear another fight. Like when Valentina wins, she's defending that title. I mean, let's be honest here. Yeah, Jan versus Sterling is in the works for 267. And yeah, Nabash, I heard about that. Ebos versus Janaroba got announced. Yeah. But yeah, like I said, I was on my IG over the past few days, and I've been seeing Joanna back into the gym, back getting into the mix, ATT, hitting these mitts, getting the drills in. And I see Zhang Weili on this side doing the same thing, hitting the mats, training with her team again, making those improvements, still working, still trying to get better and better. And matter of fact, let me go ahead and pull up this IG. I'm just looking at the video. I just like to read the captions sometimes here, but Zhang Weili said this. Hold on. Here we go. We have prepared everything that should be prepared. So I guess he's basically saying that look, they worked on everything they need to work on. Maybe that's a hint at her getting the Rose rematch, but I'm not ready for that fight yet. And then she posted another picture, it's like 3 days ago, her hitting the mats. And then, just her doing drills outside with the team. And Joanna, she posted a long reel of this picture that I posted up of her getting her work in. And then she'll go right back to being on vacation. She'll go back to the gym, then she'll go back to vacation. Gym, vacation. So I'm wondering where Joanna's next move is going to be. But for me, just seeing them both, get back into the mix and, getting in drills and working, I really, really hope that the UFC pushes these two to fight again, right? Why not? That would make a lot of sense. Like, go ahead and put these two back in the octagon before the end of this year. That's the fight that makes sense, right? If Carla got her 5-fight winning streak, she got her title eliminator, she beat Jan, let her have the fight with Rose. You got these two fighters right here kind of rebuilding. Zhang Weili coming off a devastating first round knockout loss to Rose Namajunas back in April. And then you got Joanna, who's been out of the mix since February of 2020. Why not, right? They both are kind of rebuilding themselves. Like, again, Joanna, hers more so is like a long layoff. She's already been through the losses, but now she's on this long layoff here, just trying to get back mentally and get the hunger back. Then you have Zhang Weili, who had a hard, crushing mental loss to Rose Namajunas, because that is crushing. First round knockout. Everything that you prepare for, the 6 to 8 weeks, 12 weeks of training that you put in is all out the door. Nothing to prove, nothing to show for it, because you got knocked out so fast. So that's crushing loss. So I think they're both kind of in that same type of mental space where they want to get back into the elite realm, or they want to touch that belt. But for me, if you're going to touch that belt again, y'all got to prove something to the champion, even to the fans. I think both of y'all have to say, look, this is the improvements that we made, and these are the new versions of us. Because right now, I think even if Joanna was to take on a third match with Rose, we need to see something different in her, right? Definitely. We need to see something new in her, man. Definitely. I mean, she's one of the best strikers, one of the best stand-ups. But when you put that type of style in there with Rose again, Rose has already figured that out. Rose has already figured that style out. Zhang Weili, for me, I know Rose and Joanna, that's two different styles, but this is the type of fight to really showcase defense. You going in there with another fighter again that's going to bring the stand up and expose some weaknesses. I think Joanna is that perfect opponent for Zhang Weili to really showcase your new and improved stand up, if you will. Let's see you start blocking some hits. Let's see you start keeping your hands up, because Joanna's style makes you keep your hands up, and she took some she took some heavy punches and heavy kicks from Joanna in the first fight. So let's see something different. Like, I might have to do a different video on this one because I want to talk about what type of changes both fighters have to make to not make it a fight of the year, but to make it an easy win for themselves, you know? Yeah, you know, that's something, you know, I got to talk about. Like, I'm going to do a video here. When I do a close observation again of these two, what do they have to do to not make a fight of the year? Like, what do they have to do on both sides to make it more so dominant? Like, this time around, I ain't gonna lie, look, I want to see Zhang Weili do something in a rematch with Joanna and vice versa. I don't want to see them go all out and put on that type of performance. I'm not gonna lie, I don't want to see that. We saw it the first time. I want to see some improvements. You know, I want to see Joanna come out with a small head this time. You know, I don't want to see her come out with that football on her head this time. I want to see Zhang Weili not get kicked in the face continuously by Joanna. You know, I want to see somebody take it into their hands and say, let's make some adjustments right now. You know, let's take them to school. You know, Zhang Weili, let's take it to the ground in this fight. You know, let's showcase strength. Let's work in the clinch. Let's nullify the jab of Joanna. You know, there's so many things I want to see in this rematch. I don't want to just see this for another entertaining blow for blow bloody fight, because again, it's going to leave us right where we were the last time they fought in 2020. It's going to make us say, oh no, she won. No, she won. Damn, look at Joanna's head. Look how big it is. You know, it's going to leave us right there again. So I want to see somebody making improvements in this fight. I want to see a better version of these two. Let me just check the chat here. What y'all talking about? V. Kendra said Rose is the worst champion. Nabaz said Valentina mentioned she wants to come back in September, so maybe UFC 266 already. Yeah, that's possible. Yeah, she did mention that in that one interview. You know, she said August was too early, but you know, maybe getting some work in September. So I'm thinking maybe October or November you might see Joanna again. V. Kendra said, and Joanna doesn't deserve a rematch. She needs to fight a contender. I'm honestly tired of Joanna getting the title shot or the title eliminator. She's been fighting for a title like 4 times and lost all of them. Right. Yeah. Nabash. Ooh, that's a good fight. Nabash said, I want to see Weili versus Dern. Yeah, that's a good match. Weili versus Joanna would be cool, but I like to see some new matchups at the top. Yeah, that's not a bad match. That ain't a bad match. But I want to see Marina and Dern, though. That's me, though. Marcus said, Joanna versus Zhang needs to happen due to the first fight being good. Right. But, yeah, if it happens, I want to see some improvements. Like, I don't want to see the same thing, man. Ernest said Rose is not going to be fighting until a year. Damn. Stamina, what's up, man? Breaker Gang, yes. Breaker Gang in the building. I think Weili is more... hold on, let me pull that up. Okay. I think Weili is more capable of change than Joanna. Joanna has fought the same forever. I want to see Zhang fight Joanna. It's not like Joanna is on... Oh, he deleted that. I think Weili is more capable of change than Joanna. Joanna has fought the same forever. Yeah, I think that Weili definitely has the potential here because, you know, she hasn't faced defeat so many times, you know, and even in all of her fights, to me, Zhang Weili's always came with an unpredictable style. You know, I think she's always kind of had like an unpredictable move about her. You know, she's strong in the clinch. You know, she's high. Like, you know, has a high work rate at times, fast pace. You know, she can do a little bit of everything. She wrestles, but she doesn't really have just one set skill in there. Joanna doesn't either, really. It's just that she's the best with her hand speed, and she's the best at keeping range, and she has one of the best jabs in the game. So it comes to the point for a fighter like Joanna, when you're this tall and this long and this strong, and you came from the Muay Thai background and you did so well with it, it's like, why change that, you know? But it can be dangerous though. It can be dangerous because you see it cost her fights against Rose twice, Valentina, and so on. And to Wei Li, because you see, one of the reasons Wei Li won that first fight is because she was able to switch it up very subtly. You know, when Zhang Wei Li took on Joanna, she was switching it up very subtly at times. You know, as far as fighting in the pocket, being unpredictable with the way she would throw the left hook on the inside. You know, she would kind of dip under and dip out. Very, very, very subtle changes she was making. See, Joanna was coming consistent in certain rounds and certain points. But when I go back and watch that fight, man, damn, it wasn't close, man. That fight was close as hell, man. I think I had a draw once. I had it for Wei Li 2 or 3 times, and then I had it for Joanna one time. You know, I can't remember. Like, the first time I watched it, yeah, I said Wei Li won it because, you know, I was keeping score. And then the second time I had Wei Li winning. And then I think when I watched it with y'all, I had Wei Li winning. But one time I was watching, I had Joanna winning too. So I was like, there's just some points in there where I thought that Joanna's consistency kept her alive and kept her with the edge, you know, over Zhang Wei Li. Robot Chicken said, I don't want to see Zhang versus Joanna. It doesn't do anything for Zhang. I think it does, man. Like, because she's the, you know, Joanna, unfortunately, she still is number 2, right? Because I'm not counting the champion. Okay, it goes champion. Number 1 would be Zhang. Number 2 is Joanna. Then number 3 is Carla, right? Yeah. Yeah, you don't count the champion in the 1 through 15. So Joanna would be right under Zhang. So it still holds some weight. You know, it was a good fight the first time. And I mean, I know how you look at it. Like, for you, Robot Chicken, it's like, what do you get out of fighting somebody who was out of the octagon for almost 2 years, right? That's how I look at it too. But it's still a big name. It could be a main event or co-main event. It could be a 5-rounder because they'll try to make it a 5-rounder, I think. But I think it would be a significant fight to a certain level. You know, I don't know if there's anybody else with that type of strength right now in the division like Joanna, even though she's been out this long. We could really see what type of improvements Joanna's made. But I know where you're coming from, though, man. Like, I definitely see why you wouldn't want to see it. But yeah, hit the like button, yo. 13, 14 people in here, you know. Yeah, just coming on here talking some WMMA, you know, some scenarios here. What could happen, man? Because yeah, this is something I think should happen for the division, man. Like, you got these two back on social media posting their workouts. So I don't know, man. Maybe it's just something they're working on that we don't know. Mick Maynard, Dana White. I mean, you know, maybe they're saying, look, what's your return date? What you trying to accomplish by the end of this year? When you trying to get back in there? You will come back in October or something. Zhang Wei Li come back in October or September. Who knows? So put it together, man. Put them two together. Robot Chicken said, I'd rather see her fight somebody like Dern or Marina or a Carla. See, I gotta reserve Carla for Rose. You know, I can't do that. I can't do that to Carla. You know, Carla has fought her way back up, and she deserves that rematch now with Rose, right? She deserves that rematch. So I can't do that to Carla. I'm gonna reserve Carla for Rose. And in October, I want to see Dern and Marina fight, number 5 and number 6. Yeah, that's just how I see it right now. And I'm just saying, with these two here, you know, getting back into the mix, they're both kind of coming off of the mental rust, if you will. You know, this is kind of like that mental rust where Wei Li crushed in one round that does something to you. Then you got a fighter like Joanna who's been comfortable, been chilling. And, she's been chilling for, let me pull up some exact dates here. Joanna has been chilling since, March. Sorry. I said February earlier. Yeah, I keep saying February, but March of 2020. March 7th of 2020 is how long Joanna has been chilling. That's her longest layoff of her career. Y'all know that. So two different types of mental rust here, but it's very, very much similar. I mean, one fighter, again, like I said, didn't get a chance to prove anything in the biggest fight of their career because they got knocked out so fast. So it's almost like you kind of second guess yourself. Then you got Joanna who's been making more money than she has in the UFC over the past year and some change. It makes her ask herself, like, oh man, like, I got a taste of this big money. Like, yo, y'all got to make it worth it for me. Like, is it worth me coming back? Is it worth me coming back and getting banged up and getting beat up? And I'm not getting accommodated for it like I feel I should. I'm not getting that type of dollar like I am when I wasn't fighting. So she's got the more so the comfort and content mindset over the past few months. I don't know though. I mean, she's been looking good in the gym though. I mean, she's been throwing hands and hand speed has been looking good. But working out and fighting, that's two different things, right? Two different things. So we'll see though, man. Like I said, I want to see it just because they still are the higher ranked fighters. And if they do it this go round, I need to see some change. Like I want to see more of a chess match here. I want to see whoever can make the better improvements in this fight, make it one-sided. No need to come in there and, try to put on another close fight. If you got to make that right adjustment in this fight, you got to do it. When the crowd cheers every time you take a punch, don't fall into that. Just go back to your game plan. V. Kendra said maybe Weili can fight Jan since both lost. Joanna needs to fight someone else. Weili versus Jan. Well, since Ebos is fighting Jandaroba, I mean, that's a possibility. Jan versus Zhang. That's a possibility. It's not a bad fight. They both coming off of TKO losses to Carla and Rose. That ain't a bad fight. I mean, your Asian market is still there. Not as high anymore because they both lost, but it's not a bad fight. Yeah, style-wise, it ain't a bad fight at all. I'm just kind of thinking about it. It's not a bad fight at all. But who else? Let's see. Who else did you say? Well, Joanna needs to fight somebody. If she was going to fight somebody else, like if they weren't going to fight each other, then okay. Jan versus Zhang, that's a good fight. But Joanna and Marina Rodriguez is the other fight I always wanted. That's another fight that makes sense. That would be another good fight. Joanna versus Marina, that would be good. Like if Joanna chooses to fight Marina instead, then yeah, I would give Jan Zhang, just so I could see that Marina and Joanna fight, because that's one fight that I want to see. That's a style that really intrigues me. Like I call it Striker's Paradise, man. That's gonna be a good stand-up fight. Nobody's gonna want to be taken down in that fight. Nobody's gonna try to take. Nobody's ever gonna try for a takedown in the Joanna Marina fight. That's gonna be a straight up banger, So that's the exception I'll make. That's the exception I'll make for that one. What did y'all say here? Let's see. V. Kendra said Joanna's not Connor. Yeah, I made that point before. Yeah, she's not Connor. You know what I mean? Like, so she kind of has to take whatever comes to her when it comes to her status. Like, Joanna's not Conor McGregor. You can't get another title shot when you're 2-4 in your title reign right now, or your recent 6 fights. That's not gonna work. Robot Chicken said people wanted to see Jan versus Zhang anyway. Joanna can fight the winner of Dern Rodriguez. That'd be a longer wait though. If Joanna has to wait for Dern and Rodriguez, then she definitely won't be fighting until next year. Because if they fight in October and they come back in like January, February, that's already 2 years for Joanna. And now I'm going to be like, 2 years? Nah, by that point, she should be out the rankings. I mean, she should be right now, right? But Felice Herrig is still in the rankings. Why? I don't know. Colton said, who do you have in Irene versus Yana? I'm going to talk about that here in a minute. I will tell you in a second, Colton, when we get to that. V. Kendra said, Joanna's last fight can't be Whaley. Oh, yeah, it is. It dang sure is. The boss said, I think Jan needs a little step down in competition. She could fight Ansaroff or Gedalia. But yeah, not Gedalia. She already beat her easy. Maybe Waterson. Maybe Waterson or Ansaroff. Unless Nina Ansaroff is going to 125 now. I don't know. So we'll see. Marcus said Waterson took Marina down. Yep. Yeah, she took her down in that one round, man. She kept her there. Stamina said Marina versus Joanna will be lucky if it even makes it to the fence on the feet in the center as long as it lasts. Yeah, I don't even know what Felice. Yeah, I know Felice is injured, but my thing is like, it almost seemed to a point like they were going to cut her. Like she wasn't coming back at all. Hers makes more sense though. Felice does make more sense. But I don't even think she's going to make much of that number 15 spot right now. But Joanna, man, she is just chilling on that number 2 spot right now. So she's got to fight. She's got to fight now, man. Well, going by the rankings, Wei Li is still number 1. Yeah, Wei Li is still number 1 contender. Carla just defeated her potential for a title eliminator. But yeah, Carla's number 3 right now. The order is Zhang, Joanna, and Carla, and then Jan. With Joanna holding down the number 2 spot for a year and some change. That is crazy. So yeah, we got to see something from these two right now, man. I mean, what do y'all want to see? What if Zhang and Joanna fought? Like, do y'all want to see? Don't you want to see somebody get outclassed this time around, or do y'all want to see the same fight of the night type thing? Like me, I want to see somebody take it into their hands and make it a fight where they're actually trying to break their opponent and not give them a chance. Like, I want to see something a little different. Robot Chicken said Joanna should be number 5. Yeah, she should be down there. She should be like 5 or 6. Kendra said, I want Wei Li to finish Joanna and not take much punishment. Right. That's what I'm talking about. Like, that's what I want to see. Like, I want to see somebody saying, look, this is what Joanna's weaknesses are. This is what we're going to avoid. We're going to avoid the jab. We're going to avoid the hand speed. We got a game plan this time, somewhat of a game plan. We improved on our defense. We improved on our defense. We improved on our way to get in. So, yeah, that's what I'm talking about, V. Kendra. Something like that. Like, I want to see Wei Li or even Joanna, but I prefer Wei Li. Like, I prefer to see Wei Li go in there and finish her. Like when I see boxing, like, when you looked at one of my fights to go to, Roy Jones versus Antonio Tarver. First fight went the distance. Second fight, it was a knockout. They made the right plan to put the pressure on Roy in that fight, and unfortunately, he got stopped in that fight. So something like that. Stipe and Ngannou. Stipe and Ngannou. First fight, Ngannou, he was out wrestled, outclassed, and just worn out. The gas tank was exposed. Second time around, they made improvements. They didn't fall into the same game plan. Offense was more on point. Punches was more on point, and they got the finish. No punishment taken at all there. So I want to see her or Joanna just say, look, we ain't here to just try to get some type of fight of the night award this time. We're trying to get the legit belt or, contender. A title eliminator, excuse me. Oh, Nabash, that's a good idea. I don't know, that might work. That might work. Nabash said Joanna versus Rodriguez, and then Wei Li versus Dern. Then the winners fight in a title eliminator. That would be interesting. Then. That would make it a little bit more. That would make it a little bit more easier for us to say this could work. This is who deserves it, because they'll be fighting some new blood there. Because, yeah, hands down, I want to see Joanna Marina. If that happens, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that all the way. But if Wei Li needs an opponent, Mackenzie, that would be good. I might have to do a video talking about that fight, because that's an interesting style matchup. Like Wei Li's pressure, Mackenzie Dern's ground game, Mackenzie Dern's power. Who hits harder? Let me ask y'all that. Who do y'all think hits harder? Who hits harder, Wei Li or Mackenzie? Who do y'all think hits harder? I think Wei Li is stronger. Wei Li's physically stronger, and she's faster. But who punches harder? Who punches harder, Wei Li or Dern? That would be a good fight. Yeah. Let's put that. That's a fight. That fight and Joanna and Marina. That's going to be a good stand-up fight. Honestly, I don't think either one of those fights would go the distance. Stamina said, I don't see how Joanna Wei Li could possibly be like the first one. One or both of them will behave differently. It wouldn't be another slugfest, I don't think. I would hope so. Because I see it in boxing all the time where guys like Ward or Gotti. I know Ward and Gotti, they're on the lower level. Like they were never really like the Mayweathers and things like, fighters of that caliber, but they kept putting on a slugfest for the fans. Every time the crowd would cheer, they would turn it up. But yeah, I would hope so. V. Kendra said, I agree, one person going to be different. I could easily see the fighter with the better game plan pulling away with the fight after the first 2 or 3 rounds. Yeah, the fighter that wants to win and not necessarily fight is going to win. Stammer said, I'd argue that Joanna was doing something different. Is precisely why fight was a slugfest. She's not often quite so willing to give one to take one and fight. Oh, okay, yeah. Robot Chicken said, I see Wei Li's head is different size again. All right, so the boss said Wei Li hits harder. Robert Henry said Wei Li hits a little harder. Stamina said Whaley over McKenzie, strength and power and technique. McKenzie, as of now, is just raw power. V. Kendra said Whaley counter punches. Honestly, she only pressures when she has to. Robot said Dern never finished anyone on her feet like Whaley. V. Kendra said Whaley drew Andrade out and countered her. It wasn't pressure. Stamina that says as much about the opponent as the fighter. Just because she has doesn't mean she never will and is incapable of it. Yeah, that was kind of what I was getting at. Like, what I've been seeing coming out of Dern is the ability to be effective with that right hand now. Like, the way she's been throwing that overhand right and the way she's developing it, I'm starting to see like a technique from it that seems a little bit more powerful than Whaley, but I can't say that yet because she hasn't really finished anybody, but she's not incapable of it. That's what I was getting at. Like, she's not incapable of it. Like, Dern is developing technique with the overhand right. You know, I think she's starting to get it. She's starting to get the striking down to a point where she knows how to execute it. You know, she landed some good ones on Nina Azaroff, but I think it's going to take a little bit more confidence and a few more, I won't say fights, but more training sessions and drills to where she'll get comfortable putting more power behind it. So, yeah, I think from what I'm seeing, the way Mackenzie Dern throws her punches, it's raw right now, but it can, something about it, man, something about the way she throws it makes me feel like it can go a little bit higher. It can go to a higher level. So, yeah, Whaley is better than Dern everywhere except BJJ. Whaley is a better wrestler than Dern. Yeah. I know Tisha Torres did give Whaley some problems with her wrestling. You know, Tisha Torres had some good moments with her wrestling in that fight. That's Dern's other hole, I think, is, you know, developing her wrestling to get her takedowns. You know, if she can knock you down and you get to that ground, then boom, she's good, you know. But getting a fighter to the ground, that's her challenge that she needs to really overcome. Yeah, but yeah, I definitely say Wei Lee right now has the more developed and more proven power. Definitely with the wins she's got, you know. I mean, with the damage she's inflicted on fighters like Joanna and knocking Jessica Andrade out, and the way she was able to just grind fighters and land heavy ground and pound and finish them. Yeah, Wei Lee's got the proven power. I just think that Mackenzie Dern is she's close behind with getting her power technique down. So yeah, that would be a good fight. Would it be too soon though? I don't know. That's why I still lean towards Marina and Mackenzie fight. Because let's see. After the Nina Azaroff win, that's pretty much all she's got. Mackenzie submitted Randa, right? I wouldn't be surprised if they put Yan Zhang on there with Mackenzie Dern either. V. Kendra said, but many people have stayed out of submissions against Dern. It's not like when you hit the mat, you instantly get subbed. You know, fighters with good takedown defense, but when you talking about Nina, Randa, and Hannah Cyphers, I mean, they got instantly subbed, if you will. Like, they just made some bad mistakes in there. Like, Hannah Cyphers got that knee bar locked in, and then Randa Marcos, yeah, she got instantly subbed. And then yeah, Nina Azaroff, like, as soon as she got down to the ground, it was like a struggle, but I knew she was gonna get subbed at some point. So yeah, like when you hit the ground with her, you will get subbed. Like if you get in her guard, or if you try to get in any type of position, you will get subbed though. You're pretty much in her world at that point. I mean, when you looked at fighters like Ebos, their takedown defense was good, and then Virna Jandiroba, she kept the fight standing. I feel like Virna Jandiroba won that fight, but Virna Jandiroba was taking a better approach. She said, "Look, I'm not even gonna fight you on the ground." But those that chose to go down to the ground with her, they got subbed, they got finished, or yeah. V. Kendra said when Weili tries for submissions, he's faster. I don't know about that. Weili is faster with her submissions? I don't know. I think it depends on the situation there. Because, Weili tends to grind out fighters a lot when she's on the ground. I think she likes to throw them elbows and break you down. Mackenzie, when she gets a hold of an arm, man, she's already locking it in, man. Like when she gets that arm, she's locking it in. I think that Mackenzie Dern's much faster on the ground when it comes to getting that submission. And that's just going by what I've seen in these last few fights, the way she's been able to get it. Because even whenever she fought, when Weili submitted Jessica Aguilar, it was more of a process. I mean, it was in the first round, but it was more of a breakdown. It was more of a process. She had to bust her up first and then get the submission. And she didn't submit Tisha. She knocked out Jessica Andrade. She couldn't submit Joanna. So Dern is the faster fighter when it comes to submitting. When she's on the ground and you're in her guard, you give her an arm, you give her a leg, it's pretty much done in the first round. Nina Ansaroff, she caught the right hand. She got taken down. Like I said, it might have been a little bit of a struggle there, but I already knew what was going to happen. Nina Ansaroff gave up the arm there, and boom, she was submitted. Randa Marco submitted. Hannah Cyphers starting to do well on her feet, but she stayed in that realm. Didn't put space between her and Mackenzie Dern, and Mackenzie Dern got the leg. And boom, submitted her. So she's much quicker when it comes to submissions. I mean, I can't take away from the BJJ legend there. I mean, she's been doing this for a long time. Weili is, like I said, a little bit more methodical with hers. She'll take it if it's there, but she's gonna beat you down. She'll beat you down on the ground with ground and pound first, in my opinion. Right. Yeah, Robert. When fighters end up on the ground with Dern, it's pretty much a wrap. Like it's like you're in the crocodile pit, man. Like you said snake pit, but it's like crocodiles. I mean, like, you step into her water and boom, she'll eat you, man. Like Weili is strong in her wrestling. Like, yeah, I give her that. She's strong in her wrestling. She's a grinder. She's strong at grinding. She's strong at breaking you down and putting that weight on you. But when it comes to quick submissions, yeah, Dern's BJJ is better. That's why she's quicker. Yeah. Well, you never saw Dern break anyone's arm because Verna was in there with somebody reckless. I broke that down in the video too. I talked about it in my post-fight video. I've talked about Kanako Murata. If you would have gave Kanako Murata to Mackenzie Dern, she probably would have did the same thing. I think that she's just a reckless fighter, and when she gets locked into an armbar, she's going to try to extend that arm to get it out. And, she made the wrong choice there. It's just that type of opponent, that Kanako Murata was. So I think Dern would have broke that arm too, the same way. Or dislocated the elbow. That's what it was, But I'm looking forward to Verna and Ebos, man. I'm looking forward to Ebos and Verna. The boss said Ebos was able to control Dern on the ground for a while, but it seemed like she didn't want to stay there for too long. Yeah, she didn't want to stay there for too long. She didn't want to give her that chance. She did better on her feet. And, at the time, I will say this, I ain't making an excuse for it, but I think at that time, Mackenzie Dern wasn't really developed in her strength like she is now. It seemed like as of lately, she's been on weight more so, and her body's been looking better. So Ebos was in much better shape, and I think that played a big factor into that Dern Ebos fight. Seeing them throw down at some point, I could see that happening again. I think they fought at an early point in their career, so you might see Dern and Ebos cross paths one more time, maybe 3 or 4 years out. So with that, let's talk. Let's see what I got here. But yeah, Joanna and Zhang Weili. I wouldn't be surprised if they announced that fight. I really wouldn't. Hang on. All right. This fight's on the prelims. Actually, like I said, I'm actually looking forward to this fight more than I am Diana and Irene. Here we go. All right. Let's talk about this fight real quick. So this is on the early prelims, I think, right? Yeah, this is on the early prelims. Jennifer Maia and Jessica Ai. It's not a bad fight here. I know I've been talking about these flyweight fights where they need to go ahead and mix up the new guys and new school. But this one here ain't too bad because, I do like Jennifer Maia. I like her style. And I feel like she's one of the ones in the flyweight in the top 10. I feel like still has she still has a lot left in her tank. I don't know about y'all, but I feel like Jennifer Maia has a lot left in her tank. She's one of the strongest in that top 10 and one of the more well-rounded flyweights that I think could still hold her own and give some of the prospects on the come-up a tough fight. Jessica Ai, on the other hand, man, this girl, she can pull off these little upsets here and there, but I think this is a fight here where it's going to be a little rough and rugged, and she might walk into something crazy. I'm just saying. I think that Jessica Ai will have her hands full with the style of Jennifer Maia. Let me see. When was the last time? Last time she fought? Back in January. 6 months ago against JoJo. She dropped the unanimous decision. It was a dog fight, but, JoJo, she was down for it. She worked her and, got away with the unanimous decision. Before that, she lost the unanimous decision to Cynthia Calvillo. Cynthia Calvillo put the dog on her in that fight. I feel like Calvillo was in a jabbing match, but she made her jab work a little bit better than Jessica Ai. And she started taking the fight to the ground and making it rough and rugged. When she started putting Jessica Ai on her back, she started coming away with more control time, and she was much more effective in that fight. So she's coming off a back-to-back losses to JoJo and Calvillo. I still can't believe she beat Vivian Araujo, man, back in 2019, man. Jessica I can't believe she won that. I thought Jessica I would have won. I thought Vivian Araujo would have won that fight, man. But let me see let's see what this fight will do for them. I'm gonna see the rankings here for Maya and I. All right, Jennifer Maya still holding down number 4. Jessica I, number 7. All right. So I think going into this fight here for, Jennifer Maya, I think she has some pretty good boxing. She definitely has some good stand up here. And, that's also Jessica I, her strength too, in my opinion. I think she has decent hand speed. Not the fastest, but she's a little bit technical with her jab. She's a little bit more sharper with her jab, but it can be figured out. I think she just throws it pretty much straight in textbook, and it's not a hard jab to get by. And I think, Jennifer Maya does put punches together. She showed that against JoJo Carter, which she definitely does put some punches together nicely. And I think if it turns into that type of mid-range scrap, Jennifer Maya, she's going to have to keep the work rate up, because I know she can let the work rate go down sometime, even like she did against Caitlin Chikagan. Caitlin Chikagan is not that hard of a puncher, but she was able to outland Jennifer Maya. So you can't let Jessica I get that type of lead on you. Jessica I will throw punches and will use her measuring stick. She will put that jab in your face, and she will box you. That's pretty much her strongest strength. So for Jennifer Maya, I think her game is going to have to be taking this fight into the clinch. Do a much cleaner and more technical job than JoJo did as far as dogging her out. Don't take as many hits. Press eye to the fence and control her. Break her down to the body, and get those takedowns. Jennifer Maya is a strong fighter, man. Jennifer Maya is a strong fighter. I mean, I don't know who brought that up the other day in the live stream, but we were just saying that if Jennifer Maya could have success on the ground with Valentina, and Jessica Andrade was handled like a baby, that tells you how strong that Jennifer Maya really is, right? I mean, it comes down to body frame and everything too, but yeah, Jennifer Maya is a strong fighter. She has some, okay moments in the Valentina fight. Never a moment where she was really dominant, but she can be physical in there, and I think that's going to offset Jessica I going into this fight. I think she definitely has that going for her, where she has more tricks to pull out the bag. Robot Chicken says she needs to retire. The boss said Jennifer Maya looks like a constantly improving fighter. I have a feeling that she will use more offensive wrestling in this fight. Yeah, I think out of like a lot of the top 10 fighters, I like what I see from Jennifer Maya. Improving. Yeah, I like the improvements she's been making. Because when I look at some of the other girls, it's like I don't see a lot of improvements made. It's like the same thing over and over. At 32 years old, still in top physical condition, has that strength. I think, Jennifer Maya has like that potential to go in there and maybe face somebody like Chikagan again, maybe get that rematch, or even get that winner of Calvillo and Andrade, and maybe get a rematch with the champion. Like, she's the one I see the most promise out of. That's just me. I think Marcus said Jessica I beat Caitlin. Yeah, I thought Caitlin won that fight. I thought Caitlin did a lot of backpedaling, and that's where she she kind of let the judges take the fight away from her. But I thought Caitlin Kagan beat Jessica Eye. Yeah, I thought she won that fight. But again, I could see where she let it slip because she just stayed on the back foot too much. And, that's what the judges look for. The judges look for effective aggression. And Jessica Eye kept coming forward. I know it sounds crazy, but yeah, that's how they saw it. So yeah, this fight here, I'm gonna have to go with Jennifer Maia in this fight. I think she has too many tools. She's gonna have to slow the pace down to Jessica Eye. She can't let Jessica Eye outbox her and outmove her. She's got to stay in her chest, and she has to put pressure on her. If anybody gets hurt in this fight, I think it would be Jessica Eye, because I think Jennifer Maia has more power. I think she has the better chin, and I think she's just a hell of a lot more durable. So I think Jennifer Maia, if she makes this fight in close, rough and rugged, takes away the feet of Jessica Eye, I'm going to go with Jennifer Maia I'm going to go with unanimous decision. Yeah, I'm going to go with Jennifer Maia by unanimous decision. What do y'all got? What do y'all think? Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think there's just too many tools that Maia has. So, unanimous decision for Jennifer Maia over Jessica Eye. Possible submission maybe in the third round. I think Jessica Eye will stay away from those attempts early, but she will get taken down. I'm not going to count her ground game out totally, where she'll be helpless. But she will get ground in there, I think. She will get mauled by Maia. So unanimous decision for Jennifer Maia. Let's see here. Let's go to the next one real quick. All right. Boom, boom. Shrink this down a little bit. Here we go. And if Jennifer Maia wins, then Jessica Eye will probably be facing somebody on the come up next. Maybe, maybe she'll be forced to face one of these prospects like Taylor, if Taylor gets by Mandy Bowen. All right. Let me give y'all my quick pick on this one. Irene Aldana and Yana Kunitskaya. This fight's okay. Like I said, I guess it's just the style matchup and just the performance of Irene's last performance against Holly Holm. Same with Yana Kunitskaya. It wasn't like a great performance against Ketlin Vieira. I mean, it got the job done, but it just wasn't really like a style matchup I was looking forward to. But, it's going to be interesting. Yana Kunitskaya, she's a big bantamweight, man. She's a big bantamweight. Her clinch game and her work, I think her work on the inside is very effective. Irene Aldana, I think she's the better striker, of course, from the outside. I don't understand like how her boxing wasn't effective against Holly Holm. I mean, styles make fights, but it just seemed like she was really going through the motions. I mean, I know she had maybe like a foot problem, I think. Was it a toe issue in that fight? But I thought that, she would have still been able to fight through it, grit, grit down and say, look, got to go in there. This could mean a title shot, So this fight here, I think it will be a contrast to styles because Yana Kunitskaya, to me, is not like one of the best strikers in the bantamweight division. So I'm going to see her. I see her playing out more of the wrestler in this fight. I see her trying to take that lead to try to get this fight to the ground and look for top control over a faster, much more faster striker in Irene Aldana. Irene Aldana is going to need to measure well and be a little slicker in this fight. Some of her fights, she'll box, she'll pick her kicks, but she'll take punches here and there. She'll take a few shots here and there, and she'll leave herself open. So, Irene has to set up that left hook, a la Aspen Ladd. She got to look for that shot, man. Irene Aldana has a good left hook. She got power. got power, comes from that precision punching. So Irene Aldana, man, this fight here, need to see her keep the distance, use her jab, use angles. You know, you really don't want to get into a clinch fest with a big bantamweight like Yana Kunitskaya. You know, I could see Yana Kunitskaya coming in a little bit heavier in this fight, you know. So I think, you know, Yana Kunitskaya has to be kept at a distance with the jab. You know, like I said, she's not the best striker. So Irene, that's going to be her move in this fight, to keep angles and piece her up. You know, she's got the hand speed over. But, you know, if she lets Yana get her hands on her in one moment, I think you're going to be seeing a boring type ground control fight. Like I said, that's, you know, that's the fighter's strength, and hey, I ain't going to knock them. You know, I ain't going to knock them if that's what they do. You know, if it gets the win, it gets the win, like it did on Ketlin Veria. But I think, you know, Irene is going to really have to, she's going to have to show up here, because Yana, she's been making some improvements in her game. Her wrestling, her clinch game, you know, they have been getting better. So it's really going to have to be that type of contrasting styles of a fight. You know, Irene cannot be in the pocket. She cannot put her back to the fence, because Yana will smother her. Let's see. Stamina said, let's see. Marcus said he got Jennifer Maia by blowout. Nabash, Maia by decision. Is hard to submit. Yeah, she's hard to submit, man. You know, she's very hard to submit. Stamina said I's jiu-jitsu ain't great either. Maia can pretzel her good if the chances arise. Right. Marcus, I can see a knockout for Irene. Marcus said Yana by knockout with a left hook by Aspen. Yeah, that's what I was saying. I'll Aspen Lab, man. You got to put that left hook on her. But you got to have that type of offense. You got to have that type of kill switch in you to come forward with that type of knockout. That the type of knockout in mind, you know. So, like I said, not a great fight I'm looking forward to. So let me go ahead and give you my pick. Hold on, I just want to look at something. Before I do, I want to just match them up. Like Irene, Irene is a tall bantamweight. You know, she's a tall, slim bantamweight. You know, she's 5'9". You know, so she's a good size, but not as big as Yana. You know, Yana, a little bit bigger. You know, she's wider. I mean, she can fight at 145. So 5'9" with a 68 and a half inch reach. Yana is like what, 5'9" too? Oh, Yana's only 5'6". I always thought she was taller with the same reach, 68 and a half inch. Yana's just a little bit wider, I think. You know, she's a little bit bigger. But yeah, she has the 3-inch height advantage. So hey, use that height, use that reach, and she can make this her fight, man. I don't know, what I seen in that Marion Renault fight, the way she was able to get touched up, I lean towards Irene Aldana in this fight. I'm gonna go with Irene Aldana by a decision, close decision. I see them both taking big hits, though. Yeah, I'm looking at this interview here. It said Irene Aldana looking to bounce back from her worst performance ever. It was. The Holly Holm fight was one of her worst ever, man. Even out of her other losses, one of her worst. You know? So I'm going to go with Irene in this fight. I think she's going to step her game up. Split decision. I'm going to go with split decision, because I still think that if Yana closes in and smothers her, she could take some rounds, man. She's going to take some rounds with that ground control. Robot Chicken says she's taller than 5'6". Yeah, that's what I thought, man. I thought she was like the same height. I thought that Yana Kunitskaya was like 5'8" or 5'9" herself, because she moved up to featherweight and was like looking about the same height or a little bit taller than Chris Cyborg. So I thought she was. I'm going to go with taller, though. Yeah, I'm going to go with taller. I'm not going with 5'6". That's a little short for her. Boom. Yeah, there we go. 5'8". That sounds about right. Another site says 5'8". Yana Kunitskaya is 5'8". Yeah, that sounds about right. 5'8", 5'9". Yeah, because they're like about the same height, man. Because big bantamweights, tall bantamweights. But that's who I got for this one. Who do y'all got? I got Irene Aldana by split decision, but I wouldn't be surprised if it did go the other way. if it goes on the inside, and like I said, if she lets Yana take her to the fence, man, it might be a wrap. Might let that ground control take rounds. I think Irene Aldana is going to land more punches in the first couple rounds. I think she's going to control it with her jab. But if she slows down, I don't know. Stamina says split decision. Yeah, I'm going with split decision, man. That's what I went with I based my split decision picks. Perfect example, Lauren Murphy and JoJo Calderwood. I base it off of like who is likely to rise to the occasion or who fails to make adjustments in a fight. That's how I make my pick on like a split decision, like, or who likes to take punishment. You know what I mean? And when you had JoJo and Lauren matched up, I knew that there was going to be a lot of give and take there. So it's all in what the judges look at. So yeah, you're right. Like, it's going to come down to if I pick somebody and one of the judges disagrees, because again, the judge might be looking for, he might rate a takedown higher than Irene's knockdown if she knocked Yana Kunitskaya down. You know what I mean? So yeah. Like, that's what I base split decisions off of. I base it off of what type of fighter it is, their defense at times, and it pretty much works for me. And who doesn't level up? The fighter that chooses not to level up, because eventually the judge is going to have to pick somebody. And I already know that there's a judge that doesn't think the way I think when it comes down to effective punches or fighting off the back foot, you know? Oh, 2B said he late, which I'll cover. Oh, 2B, we were talking about Fury Wilder. We were talking about Zhang Weili and Joanna, possible rematch. And who's your picks for Jennifer Maia and Jessica Ai and Irene Aldana and Yana Kunitskaya? Because I'm about to get up out of here now in a minute, but give me your picks for that, 2Bs. Who do you got? All right, so all right, 2B said he got Jennifer Maia and he's got Yana. Okay. Yeah, I just don't see Jennifer Maia losing to Jessica Ai at all. Like, it's got to be an off day if she loses. I mean, anything can happen in this world of MMA, but I just think she's got way too much. Marcus said judges be thinking about sandwich, tuna fish. I mean, that's like, yeah, like a lot of the times you don't get a lot of competent judges or serious judges. That's why it costs some of these fighters fights, you know. You know, it costs them a victory, their career, man. Messes things up. It's there crazy, so you can probably smell it from their chair in that Las Vegas heat. Yeah, that Las Vegas heat, man. That heat's no joke, so you know it puts stuff on the rise, man, when it comes to that stench, boy. I need to go out to Vegas, man. For real. All right. Let's see. 7 more minutes. Let's see. What do y'all want to talk about in 7 minutes? I got a question. Other fights. I mean, I am going to talk about Ebos and Jędrzejczyk. I'll talk about that. I don't know. Maybe I'll talk about it tomorrow. No. I'll talk about it next week, Monday. Just want to let it, well, not let it marinate, but I got to do a video on it first, and then we'll talk about it. Let's see, I'm on vacation next week. So, yeah, we got some things to talk about next week. Some videos to drop. But let's see, 7 minutes to go. I'm going to get off here at the 1:30 mark. Hour and 30 mark, sorry. Hour and 30 minutes. Damn, it's been that long? Yeah. Yeah, we'll get off here. What else, man? What else y'all talk about before we go? Another fight? Ooh, that's a good fight. Good fight. That's a good way to wrap it up for 6 minutes. 2 beasts. Okay, yeah. Lemos and Conejo. Damn, I'm looking forward to that one. I'm looking forward to that one like I was. Well, Verna Jędrzejczyk and Kanako Murata, that was higher. I was thinking of that fight more so. I was thinking higher more of this. This one, I just think it's going to be a banger, man, for Lemos. I think Lemos should have got a higher ranked opponent at this point, you know, her being in the top 15, and Conejo's coming off that Cheyenne Bay's win, which to me that wasn't really like a solid win to get a top 15 fighter. Like, I need to see a little more from Ruiz. Like, I need to see Ruiz maybe fight Corey McKenna or somebody. But other than that, I think this is going to be a good fight next week, right? 17. Yeah, this is coming up. Yeah, July 17th. Yeah, this is on the next card this month. So I think that Amanda Lemos has the better all-around offense here and the defense. You know, Ruiz, she's rough and rugged. She's almost like, I don't know, like Ruiz, maybe not exactly the same fighter, but I think Conejo is similar to Vita Arteaga just a little bit. I think Arteaga got a little bit better striking, but Ruiz, you know, she's that wrestler that comes in there and tries to put pressure on you with overhand rights. She likes to bum rush you. But I think in this fight here, Lemos, all around better footwork. You know, all around better footwork. Good jab, good leg kicks. That's actually, what's her name's? Lolita, her fighter right there. Lolita loves Amanda Lemos, right? So, yeah, I see a lot of promise in her. You know, 34 years of age, she's been making some nice improvements in her game. You know, I know she's been popped before. She was out for 2 years, but I think she's back and she's ready to make that statement. So she's a good, solid strawweight that I think is gonna. I don't know, man. I think she might go in there and look for that finish against Ruiz. She might get that finish. Corey McKenna doesn't have a fight book right now that I know of. Corey McKenna doesn't have a fight right now. But this Lemos Ruiz fight, it's going to be good, man. It's not going 3 rounds, I'll tell you that. You know, Ruiz just got that come forward style, looking for them takedowns. Lemos got that heavy leg kick. I'm talking when she throws that thing with bad intention. She's trying to take your leg out. Then she's got that overhand right and the jab. Good counterpunching skills, man. To be said, you think Montserrat will get that headlock of death? I doubt it, man. And I think if she was to get the headlock, let's say if she did get the headlock, I think that Lemos would be able to slide out and it would fall into her favor. If she slides out, she gets on that back. That's the dangerous thing about those headlocks. Like, you get in that headlock, you can slide out and get that back real quick, man. And I don't think that's gonna work against Lemos. You got to get there first. Lemos got the jab and the offense to keep her back, man. Cheyenne Bays said she wasn't gonna get into it, right? But she did 4 times. No, it was like 4 or 5 times in 3 rounds. Cheyenne Bays was getting tossed up in that fight. That's what made it crazy, because Cheyenne Bays said, I'm not going to get thrown in that headlock. And then next thing you know, fight night, boom, boom, boom. She was getting tossed. And then they was trying to scrap after the fight. Yeah, phantom weight is phantom weight. Joke. Let's see. Jesse Jess. Who should Jesse Jess fight? Let me answer that before I go. 2 more minutes. Jesse Jess should fight. If Jesse Jess was still fighting at 135, I would like to see her fight Tanisha Tennant. If Tanisha Tennant was to make her debut, that would be a good fight for her. That would be a good fight for her. I mean, where does she rank right now? I mean, she's been out for a while, so she shouldn't even be ranked, right? Jesse Jess should be like, let me see. Is she still doing? No, she's at. Did she go back to 135, or is she at 125 still? Because she was like going between weights. Jessica Rose Clark was going between weights. She's an unranked fighter anyways. If she comes back at 135, her and Tanisha Tennant, that would be a good fight for Tanisha as a debut, in my opinion. That would be good. Jessica Rose Clark. Jesse Jess is Jessica Rose Clark. McKenna is good. Does she have a fight book? Yeah. No. She doesn't have a fight book. Not right now. Yeah, sure don't have a fight, man. But yeah, that's what I would like to see. Maybe Jessica Rose Clark coming in there against Tanisha Tennant. So yeah, next Saturday, that fight is going down. Lemos Ruiz. That's gonna be a good fight though, man. I don't see it going 3. I can say that. All right, Stammer says she's staying at 135. She's been putting on weight this last year, however long now. Yeah, I figured that. Because she's always kind of had the size of a 135. Right? One flyweight didn't fit her. Jessica Rose Clark got them thighs too. She's a built like a bantamweight. She's a thick girl, so. And I don't mean like heavy, I don't mean like fat either. I mean, she's thick. I mean, she's got the shirt all the time that says thick, right? So. All right, y'all. So, about to roll out here. I don't think I'll be on any this weekend because I got stuff to do. Marcus said Macedo's been out for a while. Yeah, she's been out for a minute. I wouldn't be surprised if she wasn't signed anymore. But let's see. Yeah, I'm going to be busy this whole weekend, so I won't see y'all until Monday. But I got some videos to put out. Yeah, still got some other videos to put out. But, yeah, over the weekend. But I won't be on live until Monday. Robert Henry says, salute to everyone in the chat. I will be off the WMMA radar / combat sports for a little. Got stuff to focus on for the rest of the year. Peace and take care. All right, Robert, well, you do that, man. You do your focus, get your focus on or whatever it is. If the return is back in October still, do what you do, man. Yeah, definitely, man. Always shout out to Savage, WMMA addict. Always, man. So yeah, we will definitely catch you whenever you come on back, man. To be said, when you doing the tape return prediction and Macedo was cut. Okay, Macedo was cut. I might do that this weekend. I might do my tape prediction this weekend. I'm gonna do the video for it. I need to reach out to Marion Renault. This is her last fight. I want to try to get an interview with her before her last fight. Damn. I meant to do that, but I've been too busy, man. I want to talk to Marion Renault before she, ends it. But who knows? If she beat Miesha Tate, I think that she'll stay. Maybe not. I don't know. But yeah, y'all, I am out, y'all. Make sure y'all subscribe and hit the like button on your way out if you haven't. And yeah, if y'all didn't tune in, y'all can just leave your comments in the comment section like y'all usually do. But shout out to all y'all in the chat once again. And Robert Henry, you take care of yourself. And everybody have a good weekend. Be safe. Combo Breaker 99. I am out. Peace.